We got a 2020 region champ coach on one
Yes,
side of the mic, a 2023 region champ coach on the other side of the mic, and they decided to give both of us microphones at this college.
oh,
Oh man, this is going to be great. We got a coaches only edition here of a great game, a field trip edition between the Garrett Lakers and the Howard Community College Dragons. I'm Sebastian Merrick. You've heard me on some broadcasts before, but for the first time, we got Terrell Willis with us. Terrell, how we doing today?
good, good, man. It's an honor to be here with you, man. Calling a big Region 20 game. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for the game to begin.
Yeah, it's going to be great with the field trip. You got a lot of the kids starting to file in right now. Let's talk a little bit about Howard. Howard coming in here. They're obviously the defending region champs. They came off a blowout victory versus Southern Maryland, and this is going to be their biggest test of the year. And Garrett is undefeated coming into this one. You see the length that they possess. So with Howard kind of being a smaller team, how would you counteract that length?
I think I'm pretty sure Smelt, one of the best coaches in the region,
The best.
will give a little, zone look, trying to really and pressure them mainly, along with zone, but really pressuring them as well to try to get them to dribble the ball. I know they have a big scout, saying that the only point guard that they have is number 3, who handles the ball, but not many other ball handlers. So I would really expect Coach Smelt to show some pressure and try to get somebody else to handle the ball and force turnovers.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. I completely concur with you on that. And with Howard, let's take a look on at Anthony for a minute. Anthony's been here. He's kind of the leader of the group. With he started in 2019. Now, kind of taking a little bit of that extra role, and with the offense kind of featuring him a lot. How would you say the role he provides, counteracting that size and leadership, and maybe just settling the guards down a little bit, providing such a calming presence down low?
Anthony's only gotten better. Even from 2019, the one thing that we really liked with him was that he can initiate the offense. He's a great passer out of the post, and he really settles down a guard because as a guard, you have an outlet in Anthony. So it always makes things easier when you have a tall wing forward that can start to initiate the offense. So he's a blessing for this team, and I think he'll be really key tonight to go against their forwards. And I think he will have mismatches going up against their forward trying to guard him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, the starters for both these teams, for Garrett, we got Carmelo Miles, Nasir Coleman, Gavin Jackson, Steven Robinson, and Keyshawn Scott starting for the Lakers. For Howard, Howard's going to go with the same lineup they've always gone with: Jaden Johnson, Miles McDuffie, Emmanuel Enriquez, Christian Dean, and Anthony Jami Chula. We'll get through the lineups and the anthem, and then we'll be back for tip-off after this timeout.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, the lineups and anthem have happened, and now we are getting ready to tip between these two teams. We got Anthony Jami in the jump circle for Howard and Carmelo Miles in the jump circle for Garrett. It's going to be a very important region game, maybe the best region game of the year so far, with Garrett coming in with 0 losses in the region, Howard Region 20 Division 2 play, and Howard 1 loss in Region 20 Division 2 play. Jami wins the tip, and we are underway. Johnson has the ball. Dean Enriquez setting up. Jami setting a down screen for McDuffie, who pulls up a little bit short to start. And it'll be interesting to see how Garrett will go as they are in transition. And there's the transition right there for Garrett, leading to the easy basket.
Yeah, you got to sprint back. They got stuck looking at the ball, number 3, trying to stop him, and a great idea to back cut. They have to make sure they see ball and man at all times. That's going to be really key during this game.
Johnson to Dean. Enriquez looking to seal. Jami, in fact, has it down low, puts it up, well off, rebounded by Garrett. And once again, the Lakers look to go in pace, but they turn it over. Johnson to the hole, gets a foul call, and he will go to the line for 2. Good strong take there by Johnson, going up against the bigger Robinson. Wasn't afraid to attack there and ended up going to the line for 2 shots.
But that's what Howard has to do. If you saw in that last possession, there were all 5 guys back in transition. They got the steal, and they have to put pressure on Garrett and get them in transition and picking up fouls. Great response by Howard. Hopefully they can keep that up this game.
Johnson, the team's leading free throw shooter coming into this one percentage-wise. First one is off. There's your typical broadcaster's jinx for you. Howard led by Coach Mike Smelkinson, and he has just done an incredible job putting together such a great event today, a field trip day, and you can hear the kids. They're loud and supporting their Dragons. Here's Howard in the 2-2-1 press that they showcased for Southern Maryland. Garrett breaks that press easily, and now they'll set up in their half-court offense. Here's Miles. Robinson calling for it down low. Instead, they get it back, and putting it up as Miles is no good. McDuffie loses control of it, goes out of bounds, and it stays with Garrett with 20 on the shot clock. Gavin Jackson, a key player for the Lakers, a volume shooter for Garrett. As the ball goes up, Dean trying to fight for it. Unfortunately, Miles ends up with it. Good attempt there by Dean. 13 on the shot clock for Garrett. Here's Jackson. Jackson receives a screen. Miles. Jackson not afraid to pull up, but instead he travels, and Howard will get it back. Good solid half-court defense there by Howard, staying in front of their man, staying engaged, low center of gravity. Good start for the Dragons so far.
I think they did exactly what we talked about before the game. I told you we would see a little bit of zone, but a little bit of pressure. And I think in that one defensive possession, we saw a little bit of all 3 right there in zone pressure, zone, and man. So it's good to see how they mix up the defense.
Enriquez attacking the basket there, and that's a key for Enriquez, because when he attacks consistently, there's not really many in the region that can handle him. I mean, he's so big, strong, athletic, physical, and right there, it's like anytime he goes to the basket, he's more than likely gonna either make the layup or he's gonna get fouled and go to the line for 2 right there.
Absolutely, and that's key for Emmanuel, for just him getting down and putting pressure on the defense. Not settling, but putting pressure on the defense and making them foul. Quickly, within the first 2 minutes, Garrett has 2 fouls, which will be really key in a long 20-minute halves.
And that's the thing with Enriquez, too. A lot of times he will settle for those shots early on in games, but you make a great point there as Dean loses control of it. Didn't really have control of it. Great defense there. Pressure defense by Howard. Garrett will have it with 20 on the shot clock, with Coleman inbounding it for the Lakers. This is both these teams' biggest test to date so far. Garrett taking care of the teams they're supposed to be as Jackson puts one up, and that's what he can do. Jackson averaging 17 points per game coming into this one. You see that quick release that he has too. You gotta be there if you're Howard. That split second could make the difference for the
Absolutely.
Dragons. Enriquez settling for a three and knocks it down. Big shot there from Enriquez. What do you see so far in the 2-2-1 press that Howard's showing in this one?
It's slowing Garrett up. They're looking to push the ball with number 3, their point guard, at all times. But the 2-2-1 is not allowing them to and making them settle down. And now Howard has to guard with less seconds in the half court. And I think Garrett is really struggling with it right now because that's not what they want to do, play slow. They want to pick the game up. Coach Smugger's doing a great job getting Garrett out of their comfort zone right now.
And that current turnover just caused by the Dragons. McDuffie slips, misses the layup, but a foul. Or we got goaltend Paul, and it's a early 8-5 lead for Howard. McDuffie caught his defender sleeping and hit him with the back door.
I love what Howard's doing right now on the offensive end. They're putting a lot of pressure on Garrett, doing the same things that they do, backdoor cuts, attacking the rim. It's really working.
And that's a 10-second violation. The refs finally see it. So the pressure getting to Garrett. And again, the Howard Dragons causing turnovers and issues for the Lakers. And now Howard will get it in the half court with 30 on the shot clock. Should be 20. I think the officials are correcting that mistake right now. Johnson has it for the Dragons. Enriquez looks to set a screen. Johnson attacks to the hole with a nice little delay and puts it up. And it's now a 10-5 Howard lead. Once again, Howard in that 2-2-1 press. Coleman finds Miles. Miles looking to attack. Jami takes the charge. And that's a gutsy move by Jami there because, one, they need him in the game because he can't get in foul trouble due to their lack of size depth-wise. But, two, you see a 6'5 guy coming straight at you. That's not easy to step in and take one right there.
That just shows his versatility. And I think this is the best. This was the exact way that Coach Smokes wanted the beginning of this game to go. They're putting pressure on Garrett, and they're making Garrett flustered with the different defenses that they're running.
McDuffie. Enriquez. And a travel. Turnover to the Lakers. So Enriquez a little slippery with that one. Garrett will get it back. 10-5 the score here. You can tell the crowd has had an early impact on the Lakers too, because I'm sure they're not used to playing in this environment. Another turnover by Garrett. Johnson looking to put one up, gets blocked, out of bounds, stays with Howard. 26 on the shot clock.
Jaden Johnson has been doing really good at the top of the zones. I think he has about 2-3 steals already. So his activity defensively is really doing well for Howard right now.
And that's something, having coached him last year, that he has improved upon a lot. He's taken pride in his defense, and he knows that's what's going to get him on the floor. And also just being more of a vocal leader, I feel like, is something that's helped him. As you know, as a point guard, you got to take command and kind of lead your guys and whatnot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think he's doing a great job leading. The team is feeding off the energy. Oh, this game is living up to the hype.
Jackson has it across half court. McDuffie looking to take him. Coleman. Howard in a 2-3 right now, zone-wise. Puts one up, Garrett. That is off. And goes out of bounds. And it'll be Howard ball. Heathington puts that one up. Heathington's a new guy for Garrett. This is his third game for the Lakers. Garrett with a couple new guys. This, JUCO. New additions midseason are not uncommon by any stretch of the imagination. Dean with a nice take to the hole. And it is now a 12-5 Howard lead. Jackson breaks the press, gets across half court, puts one up, off. Heathington, that's off. Enriquez with the rebound. Johnson gets it, and now Howard will look to slow it down. Dean, McDuffie. Dean will put one up from 3. That is off. Jackson with the board for Garrett. And that shot goes up, and a block is called on Jami. That is his first, and we will have our first media timeout. 12-5, Howard. We will be back after this timeout.
All right, everybody. How's everyone feeling today? We have our first challenge of the day. We have Brandon from Swansford on my left and Langston from Runningburg on my right. They have 30 seconds to score the most free throws, and let's see who will do it. On your mark, get set, go. All right, you guys got it. Cheer them on, everybody. Cheer them on. Cheer them on. Oh, we got one here. Come on, you got it. Oh, you got it. Let's go, Langston. Oh, you got it, Brandon. Give me one more, one more, one more, one more. All right, last shot, last shot, last shot. There you go. All right, and that is the game.
Welcome back to the Caller Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. Sincere Barfield checking in to the game for Howard, replacing Anthony Jami. Jami picking up that first foul for Howard, and they know the value that he brings. I think that's why they're probably protecting him a little bit. Don't want to pick up that second foul without having the lack of size and depth that they thought they were going to have coming into the year.
Absolutely. Before he got lucky with the first one, they gave him the charge. This one, I think he turned his body a little bit, rightfully deserved the blocking foul. Let's see how Garrett responds. But an excellent start the first 5 minutes for Howard. I think this is exactly what Coach Smelt uh, wrote about.
And the Howard press has caused Garrett to have 5 turnovers in 5 minutes. So that alone is you can see the effectiveness of that, and it's just so important. And as coming out of the timeout, Garrett missing 2 free throws. Dean is fouled, no shot. The foul will be on the floor.
I love to see Dean aggressive. You know, he's known as this guy that can really knock down and shoot the ball. But the difference in this game, first couple times, he's really gotten aggressive, getting downhill, putting pressure on Garrett. I think that's a really key for Howard in him doing that.
Barfield gets it down low from Johnson. As blocked, McDuffie will go back up with it. That is off, and the rebound by Scott. Coleman looking to go up in transition for Garrett. This is what we talked about earlier, the pace of Garrett, how they want to go. And once again, it's another travel for Garrett, the 6th turnover of the game for the Lakers.
A zone really makes teams think. And I think right now Garrett is overthinking, and that's exactly what Coach Smelgerson wants.
And Garrett's probably not used to the pressure of this as well, and playing in an environment like this. I mean, they've had a lot of things go their way early on, 6-0 starts. So in the Region 20 Division II play. So it'll be interesting to see in this environment can they keep it up. This is definitely their biggest test to this point. Coleman knocks that one down, and it is now a 12-7 game for Howard. Johnson will bring it up It's interesting to see when Johnson and Barfield are in the game together, how Barfield really plays off ball now. It's something that he's kind of added to his game because usually when you think of Barfield, like he needs the ball, he's more of a ball handler. He hasn't really played off ball during his high school career at Patterson and
Absolutely.
whatnot. So that's something that it's good to see him add to his game as that fadeaway shot is knocked down by Heathington, and we got a one possession game here at the Caller Complex.
You can see the difference. Now they're playing through Emmanuel and Henriquez in the post. You can see a little bit of the difference with Anthony playing there and Emmanuel Henriquez playing there. It's much different how Anthony initiates the offense and gets everybody involved, where Henriquez is much rather looking to score.
And do you think defensively, what impact also, because does that have defensively on Howard, should Garrett be in the half court? It might encourage them to attack the basket a little bit more, just seeing the lack of size compared to Jami as well. But you make great point there offensively. That is absolutely the case as Enriquez misses his first free throw. The foul picked up by Keyshawn Scott. That's his first. He comes out of the game. Keontae Johnson enters for the Lakers. Johnson, a player I actually recruited while I was an assistant at Howard. Very good player. He's kind of their lead sixth man for the Lakers from Odessa, Texas. So he brings that little bit extra edge
Yes.
to him. And he's a special player who's going to be a good get for Garrett. Barfield to Johnson after another Laker turnover. That is short. Tip by Enriquez. That's off. Roche has it. And they gets that one to go. And once again, active hands from the Dragons. Their presence on the glass as the Lakers just get it across in time. That shot is off. Scott tries to save it, and he does. Unfortunately to Dean, another Laker turnover. Johnson initiates contact. That is off, and the ball stays with Howard. Like the physicality, though, shown by Johnson there. Going into the defender's chest while trying to go up with that. Haven't really seen that from him lately. It's a good to like just message to send on maybe early in the game.
Absolutely. He's putting pressure on the defense, and this is exactly what Howard needs.
Roche with an easy seal and a putback for two. And those impounds, those baseline out of bounds plays are killing Garrett right now. That's twice they've got Howard's really caught them asleep down low. And for Garrett, they gotta pay more attention to that if you're the Lakers.
Absolutely, and I think Coach Smelgerson sees he's not the forwards for Garrett are very skinny. They're not as strong. I think that's somewhere that Howard thinks they can attack and attack them at the rim and put pressure on them without them having much girth down there in the paint.
The referees just gave a warning to the Howard coaching staff. I think they didn't like that two of the assistant coaches were standing up a little ticky-tacky, but comes with the territory, I guess. Here's Johnson. Pullman looks for a pass down low and turns it over. And another Garrett Lakers turnover. Coach McCullough for the Lakers must be very unpleased right now with that. McCullough is a rising star in this industry, coming from Prosper State. This is his third year at Garrett, and he's just done some great work there so far, and he's only 26 years of age, and he's going to be a good one in this industry for a long time. Barfield puts that one up. That is off. Dean with the putback, and it is now 16-9, Howard. And once again, here comes Howard with that press. Johnson breaks half court. Finds Heathington. Coleman looks to attack. Finds Johnson down low. And good possession there from the Lakers.
I think that's what the zone is meant to not do. You don't want to let number three get into the paint and create. And I think once that's what they did, and that's going to be the result. You got to keep him out of the paint and keep him on the perimeter.
Roche, go ahead.
No, he's too good of a player to allow Coleman to get in the paint.
Brochet puts that one up. It's no good. Coleman has it for the Lakers. Johnson puts it up. Off. Rebound, Enriquez. And you make a great point there about the zone defense. A lot of times the zone defense, the shot that Howard's more okay giving up more than not's the free throw line extended shot there. And it will be interesting to see if maybe Garrett wants to attack that and take that pull-up jumper. If they can get in there, though, that's the key that you said earlier. Barfield attacking, puts one up, off. Rebound, ends up in the hands of Barfield. Looks to go back up, keeps his pivot foot down, goes up, and the foul is called. And we will have our second media timeout of the game. Barfield will shoot 2 when we come back. Howard 18, Garrett 11.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the big uniform challenge. Each player has to put on a shirt and jersey and make it down to the end line. Are you marked? Get set, go. Let's go, let's go. Cheer them on, cheer them on, cheer them on. Come on, put your jersey on, put your jersey on. There you go, put your shoes on. You got it, put your shoes, get your shoes, get your shoes. Make a shot, make a layup. Ah, there you go. You got it. Give me one, Dylan, give me one, give me one. You got it. There you go. Last one. All right, and that is the game. Thank you guys for playing.
Welcome back to the Caller Complex here at Howard Community College. Barfield going to the line for 2. First one is good. Heathington picking up his second foul, and Garrett opting to keep him in the game at 9:49 in the first. Now, if you're Howard, knowing that he has 2 fouls, how much do you deviate your offense towards trying to get him to pick up the third?
You really don't. You keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a player that was really killing you. So you really just keep doing what you're doing, and that's the reason why you have a 9-point lead right now.
Barfield picks up the foul for Howard. That's his first personal.
Turnover to the Dragons. Turnover to the Lakers.
Johnson inbounds it to Coleman. Johnson. Dragons into 2-3 right now. Coleman. Johnson. Heathington puts one up and gets it to go. 3-point shot for him, and it is now a 6-point game. Howard looking to go quick. Barfield pulls up. That is off. Rebound. All right, Heathington out of bounds will be Garrett basketball.
Probably a quicker shot than Coach Smuggerson wanted on that possession. They've been doing really good running their offense, using time and getting a great shot. Hopefully Sincere can get it back on the defensive end, which they do.
Johnson puts one up. Gets it to go under duress. Johnson gets it to go, and it's an 8-point game. And Johnson finishing through contact. That's something he's added to his game, and it's very important for Howard as Heathington once again gets it to go. That arguably could have been a delay of game by Heathington just batting the ball, and I think that's what Barfield's talking about with the official. But nonetheless, we keep playing on. Barfield loses that off a poor pass from Dean, and a turnover for Garrett. And McDuffie will come back in. Turnover for Howard, pardon me. McDuffie in for Dean, who just committed that turnover. When do you think Howard will reinsert Jami back into the game?
I think going down the stretch, maybe closer to the next media, let him finish the half, and make sure if he does pick up the second half, it's really close to the end, which is would be the best thing. Hopefully he doesn't. But right now, I think Howard is doing a great job without him right now, so they're buying him more minutes.
Johnson, Roche from three, short. Rebound by Coleman. And with a nice dish, and he finds Antonio Adams, who gets that one to go. He's the other of the recently added Lakers for Garrett, Heathington, and Adams, and they're important additions to Coach McCullough's team. Roche, McDuffie for three. A little strong rebound to Johnson and the Lakers. And once again, here goes Garrett in transition. Coleman, Heathington for three, off. Rebound, or we got a loose ball foul called on the Lakers. Marquis Olds will pick that foul up. But if you're Howard, you got to be cognizant of the pace right now. This pace right now favors Garrett, and it's a little. And I think Coach Schmelkinson will probably want to slow it down a little bit because you've seen Garrett really having trouble in the half court, and when you play this style of pace, it's hard to set up in your 2-2-1 as well.
Well, I think it also making shots. When you make shots, that's how you set up into your press and zone. In the last couple of possessions, the Dragons haven't been able to make shots, so it's harder to get into your press, and you now have to revert back to your half court. So I think if McDuffie makes this free throw right here, look to see Coach Smelt go right back into the 2-2-1.
McDuffie going to the line on the loose ball foul by Olds. That's Garrett's seventh, so Howard in the bonus. McDuffie making the first of a 1-and-1. The second shot of the 1-and-1 by McDuffie is off, and unfortunately we will not get to see that press that we were talking about earlier. Here's Johnson for the Lakers. Barfield guarding him. Howard in man now. Johnson making it a little tough for Coleman. Crowd supporting on their Dragons here. Enriquez with the switch, and they're going to call him for a block.
Enriquez has to get up. He has to hedge it a little higher, not allow him to get east and west. He'll learn from that, and next time I'm pretty sure he'll make him go backwards rather than go east and west.
No doubt about it. That's a great point, and that's something I'm sure the coaches will allude to during halftime. Coleman finds Olds. Olds receives a screen from Johnson. Will look to attack and get it to go. And it is now a one-possession game. Johnson bringing it up for Howard. Dean getting ready to check back in at the scorer's table for the Dragons. McDuffie. Small lineup out here for Howard. Barfield, a very deep contested three. That is off. And Garrett will live with that. And now in transition, Olds off, but a foul is called.
You really want to see Sincere on the wing catch it closer to three-point line. He's catching the ball way past the three-point line. I see Coach Smelt on the sideline. That is not what he wanted to see from his star guard. Hopefully they fix that on that end. But Garrett is doing a great thing. They're slowing it down. They weathered the storm, and now they're going on that run. Basketball is all about runs. So Coach Smelt expected this, and I definitely would expect Howard to make a little run before we go into half.
And that's the thing with the spacing element of it too. It's so important where you are on the court, like one foot forward, 1 foot backward. It makes such a difference. And you alluded to that, and the spacing of that was a little off. And plus that shot, you can get any time in the shot clock too. So they have plenty of time to work with. Not the look I don't think Howard wanted there, as Garrett missed both their free throws there. Barfield loses it. Another turnover for Howard, and Roche is going to come in at the scorer's table, or initially was, they're going to get Truth Norton now to check in. Shot up and an air ball by Corey Harper. Johnson to McDuffie. Barfield works it to Dean. Barfield. McDuffie for three. Got it to go. A nice line try there by McDuffie. And they're going to actually call that a 2 on the floor. So 2-point basket is Coleman. Way too easy. And
Way too easy.
you can't be allowing middle drives like that if you're Howard. And that's a lot of it. You got to get back on defense sooner. Enriquez gets that one to go. And is a 27-22 game. And we're going to get a foul on Jaden Johnson. That is the 16th foul for Howard.
Entering the game with the Dragons.
I think you see a little McGainmanship. I don't think Garrett could guard Howard when they were man-to-man, so Coach did a great job for Garrett of going zone and making Howard think, and I think that's what helped them get to their run.
Sloppy inbounds pass from Garrett and another turnover. McDuffie blocked. Johnson has it. Norton to Enriquez for three. Off. Rebound McDuffie. Puts it back up. Gets it to go. Miles McDuffie. And he's the type of player that always seems to find the ball. He has a knack for the ball, and he does the dirty work for Howard. And that's very valuable.
Absolutely. A Swiss Army knife, which you love to see.
Perfect description for him. Dean has it. Dean takes it to the hole and is fouled by Olds. And that will take us to our final media timeout of the half. Dean will go to the line shooting 2 when we come back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a song. We got 20 seconds to go. Let's see who can name that tune. Sound familiar? Anybody? You got the answer? You know the song? All right, let's see if you can name that tune. All right, what's the name of this song?
Electric?
No, close. Anybody else? Anybody else? What's the song called?
1-2 step. Sierra 1-2 step.
Okay, there we go. Sierra 1-2 step. Thank you guys for playing. Name that tune.
Welcome back to the Caller Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College as we got 4:24 left to play here in this first half. 29-22 the score between Howard and Garrett. Christian Dean going to the line for 2 shots. First one is good. Stay tuned for our halftime. We're going to be interviewing James Lamond at halftime. He is the coordinator of community engagement for the Howard County Public School System, and he's going to tell us how this event all came together. So be sure to stay tuned for that during halftime. Nasir Coleman will bring it up for Garrett. Here's Harper. Good three-point shooter he is for Garrett. Coleman. Out wide. Johnson's going to put one up, and that is off. And that will be Howard ball.
Out of bounds, turnover to the Dragons.
Johnson doesn't really take many threes. He's a spot shooter, but on occasion he will shoot them and he can hit them. He's 41% on the year from three. Norton, Johnson, McDuffie, Garrett now in the zone. Dean puts one up with one hand. It's off. Coleman in transition. Harper gets Norton in the air, puts it up, short. Rebound, McDuffie. So now that you see Garrett in the zone, how would you counteract that if you're Howard?
Get the same thing they were trying to do, get the ball inside the paint. Whether it's through the pass or through the dribble, get the ball into the paint, the high post, and work your offense from there.
Norton, McDuffie. Puts one up from three. It's off. And it will be off of Garrett, and it will stay with Howard.
Possession remains for the Dragons.
20 on the shot clock for Howard. Gavin Jackson back in the game for Howard along with Cam Headington. Dean off. Rebound to Coleman. Jackson has Headington down low. Saw him a little late. He still goes up with it and gets it to go.
That was a good last second pass. I think surprised Howard. Thought that was going up, especially when one of the best shooters in the conference has the ball.
For sure, for sure. And Howard probably played that. They played that exactly how you said it too, which is the element of surprise, and it's a good move there by Jackson. McDuffie doesn't get that three to go. Rebound ends up with Garrett. Jackson to Coleman. Coleman. Headington will put another one up. That is short, and you'll live with that if you're Howard every day.
Absolutely.
Norton. Johnson. Just under 2 minutes to play here. Puts a little teardropper up. That is off, and they're going to get Johnson for a loose ball foul, and I don't know if I like that call.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Johnson was in the air. It's not like he went in and took the landing space of the opponent, and that's a tough break for Garrett. Garrett's going to call a 30-second timeout. So with Howard, we'll stay here during this break. Howard's down up 6, got a minute 49. How do you envision this final minute 49 playing out for the Dragons in terms of attacking Garrett and making sure, like, stay out of transition and whatnot?
I think Howard has been doing a great job. The last 2 possessions, you got what you wanted. You went inside. Jaden had the floater on the last one. Then Troop went into the paint, did a good kick out the mouth. You just didn't hit those 2 shots. I think you continue to do what you're doing, attack the paint, get in the perimeter, make the pass, or you finish. And I think Howard will continue to envision making a run. After these 2 free throws, taking more time off the clock and limiting the amount of possessions that Garrett has the ball, finishing up the first half.
All right, so we will go to the free throw line after the 30-second timeout by Coach Matt McCullough of the Lakers. And going to the line for Garrett is Steven Robinson. Robinson, a 53% free throw shooter, misses the front end of a 1-and-1, but Enriquez tips it into his own basket, and that is a brutal break for the Dragons. You got to be able to rebound, and that's a big win for Garrett. Barfield, a risky pass. McDuffie gets it. Enriquez loses it, and it's Garrett ball. Enriquez has got to go up stronger with that. A lot of times he likes to flick it up there. Got to go stronger with that if you're Enriquez.
Absolutely. You got to attack the rim stronger.
Coleman bringing it up for the Lakers. Robinson. Headington. Looking to post up Norton. Create some space. It's a little short. Coleman almost got the board.
That's
But
exactly the shot that Howard wanted.
yeah, especially in that situation when you have a smaller Norton on him, he thought he was going to probably take him a little more down low and post them up, maybe try to do a post move, settling for a fadeaway. And we got a foul on Heathington. And McDuffie's going to go to the line to shoot a 1-1.
Garrett foul number 24, Cam Heathington. That's his third and the team's 10th.
And that's a big blow for Heathington and Garrett, as that is number 3 for Heathington, and they're going to probably have to take him out now. And here he goes.
That's the risk reward of keeping a player in with 2 fouls.
Yeah, Coach McCullough, you can see he knows how important that loss is to the Lakers. McDuffie at the line for a 1-1. Gets the front end to go. And the second one for McDuffie is good.
I think that's the difference in this game right now. Howard making free throws, Garrett struggling free throws, shooting free throws right now, leaving a lot of points on the board.
Coleman to Jackson. Under a minute to play here at the Caller Complex. Dean will pick up the reach-in foul on Antonio Adams.
Not a smart play.
And that's his third.
Dragons foul number 24, Christian.
Or that's his second, pardon me. It showed the 24 up for Heathington. I mean, instantly thought it was Dean's 24. But Dean coming out now with that second foul. Roche checking into the game for Howard. And Adams will go to the line, shooting a 1-1.
Antonio Adams to the line, shooting 2.
Adams, the front end of a 1-1 is good.
These are things you didn't want at Howard. Them scoring points with the time stop. That's not what you want to do, especially when you're in a lead like this.
No doubt about it. And the second end of the 1-1. And we got a technical foul on Miles McDuffie for Howard. And they're going to say he got a tech for, I guess, elbowing the Garrett guy early at the line, but that's a big blow for Howard, as that's also a personal foul. And Terrell, we talked about this in the broadcast off air prior to the game with this official who gave him the tech. He is a little technical foul happy. You got to be careful and be on your best behavior because he likes to issue techs a lot. So
Absolutely.
you can't give him a reason.
Absolutely. And I think that's what the rest are talking about. He's calling on the elbow that he saw. So, but he's a very prominent ref in this region. So both coaches know and all players understand how to deal with that ref.
And here's the issue I have with it. So McDuffie walks away, and now the ref comes up to him, and he's like, no more. You already issued the tech. Just go away. You're trying to incite more. Just go away. You issued the tech. It's over. You're trying to cause a fight. Just go away. Go do your job. You don't need to go talk to the players.
Absolutely.
So Jackson misses both of the tech. And I guess, as they say, Terrell, ball don't lie. So
Howard needs to thank the elementary schools in here. They're making a lot of noise, and I think that made it tough.
Yeah, no doubt. And Jackson, who's a 78% free throw shooter coming into this one, that's rare to see him miss a couple. But McDuffie, that's his second personal now, so he's also got to be careful with foul trouble. And too easy on the inbounds for Garrett. Robinson with a nice steal and gets it to go.
Only positive to that is that it's only a 2-point possession, 3-point possession for Howard. It could have been worse, so I'm pretty sure they're happy to get away with it with just giving up 3 points.
And we got a 30-second timeout called here by Howard. They're going to use their take it or lose it timeout. And coming out here, what do you think Coach Schmelkinson is going to draw up coming out of this timeout?
I think what's been working is getting into the interior. I think they have Howard and Coach Smelk has found strength in getting and scoring around the rim, and I think that's where he's going to push it. Whether it's getting a ball at the elbow and attacking from there, or just posting up, straight posting up and turning around and scoring. But I think that's where Howard has had the most success, and I know Coach Smelk would like to use as much time as possible right now to leave the Garrett Lakers with the least amount of time to score before the half.
Yeah, ideally you'd probably want to go around the 8 to 10 second mark on the shot clock. Chew good 19 seconds off that clock. So it'll be interesting to see how Howard attacks this.
I could definitely see them having Emmanuel or Arthur, one of those attacking from the rim or attacking from the elbow. I'm sorry, and using their strength and versatility to get up to score.
All right, Norton will inbound for the Dragons. Barfield has it, looking to choose some of that clock off. McDuffie to Barfield. And now you'll probably see Howard begin to go now at the 8-second mark. Roche to McDuffie to Roche, and he didn't get it off in time.
That's exactly what, like I said, Coach Smug wanted to do. Use Arthur or Emmanuel, attack them from the elbow. He got what he wanted. They just couldn't finish.
No doubt. They literally exactly. You couldn't have drawn it up any better for us on the broadcast. So well done to you. 5.3 seconds. Coleman looking to attack. Coleman to the basket is blocked, and that will end the first half of play with your score: Garrett 29 and Howard 32. Make sure to stay tuned for our halftime interview with James Lamont, the coordinator of community engagement for HGPSS. We will be back with that interview shortly. All right, welcome back to the Caller Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. I got special guests with me for our halftime interview. We got James Lamont, the coordinator of community engagement for the Howard County Public School System. James, thank you for taking the time to join us. Can kind of tell us about your role and the impact that it has in the school system and the overall county as well?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, first of all. Again, my name is James Lamont, Coordinator of Community Engagement for Howard County Public Schools, my 25th year with Howard County Public Schools, my 8th year at Central Office, and in this type of a role. And my role is obviously, as it says, community engagement. Try to engage our community partners. The Community Partnerships Office is also something that I coordinate as well, work with, and our goal is just try to increase engagement with our families and community partners such as Howard Community College, which is a great partner of ours, but also others such as, the health department, local children's board. We have over 1,300 partnerships with Howard County Public Schools. We're very fortunate to have such a strong community here in Howard County.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, how are you able to get such a special event like this together with Coach Smelkinson? Obviously, you get a bunch of kids, like they get to watch basketball instead of being in class. Like, how are you able to get such a special
All right,
event like
Dragon
this
fans,
together
you've
for the
been
first
nice and
time?
loud that first half, but for the second half, we're going to need you to be even louder.
Years. I mean, I remember a really great basketball player himself.
All right, all right, all right. I like the sound of that.
To inquire about this event that he was planning here in January this year. So what I did, my role is connecting with the principals, and so they can work through all the things that happen with a field trip, and make sure there's some education component to it, so the kids will get a tour of the campus, and it's important. Our kids need to be exposed to these opportunities. Howard Community College is a great college in our community, and it's right in our backyard. And kids need to know what it offers. So it's a great opportunity for them to come and see the campus and start to develop a relationship. And hopefully, as they move through their middle school and high school years, they will remember being in Howard Community College and all the things that it offers. It's a great school.
It's awesome. And you know the benefits of JUCO, being a former JUCO athlete yourself. So can you kind of describe what JUCO kind of did for you and the benefits that maybe it can provide for students after they're done with their tenure in their Howard County Public School system?
Great question. So after I finished high school, Washington High School outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I had not prepared myself properly to go to, Division I school. I ended up going to a school in Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, junior college. And it was an opportunity for me to kind of reset myself, right? Get more focused academically. And I was there for 2 years. I graduated from junior college in Kansas and earned a full scholarship for football to West Virginia University. And, that was important for me to really have that foundation that the community college gave me in Kansas. It kind of, like I said, it reset me and got me refocused on my academics. And so I went to West Virginia, got my undergrad and my first 2 master's degrees from there. And, here I am today. So it was a blessing for me to have a chance to go to community college.
That's awesome. And you're the perfect example of anything is possible with JUCOs. And it's really special to see. Keep doing great things for our school system. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. James Lamont, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
James Lamont, the coordinator of community engagement for the Howard County Public School System. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back for the second half momentarily. Welcome back to the Cowler Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College as we get ready to begin the second half between Howard Community College and Garrett Lakers with the score Howard 32, Garrett 29. Terrell Willis with me. Terrell, what are your observations of the first half with the turnovers and whatnot of Garrett, the pressure of Howard? How does Howard keep that up in the second half?
I think they have to get back to what they did in the beginning. Causing turnovers early on. I think about 10 minutes in the half, first half, they had 9 turnovers. And they finished the half with 9 turnovers. So I'm pretty sure Howard wants to continue to keep the pressure up, force turnovers, and get to the rim. I thought as the half went on, they started settling a little bit instead of getting to the rim. So I'm pretty sure they want to get back to the rim and continue to keep Garrett undecided on what they want to do.
No doubt, no doubt. And the pace of play as well is incredibly important. Garrett, wants to play with pace. Howard's more of a half-court style offense. The pace of play is going to be incredibly important and dictate a lot of things as well.
Absolutely. And I looked them to start to make a run right away in the second half.
All right, Johnson has it. Dean to Johnson. Garrett in the 2-3 right now. Johnson to McDuffie. Finds Jami down low. Comes back in the second half after having not played most of the first half. Enriquez driving baseline. Gets it to go.
That shot allowed Howard not only to get to the rim, but allowed them to set up in their 2-2-1, which Garrett has been struggling with mightily.
Jackson by McDuffie pulls up. Short rebound to McDuffie. McDuffie attacking the basket. Dean will pull up from three, way off. Jackson with the board. Good look there for Howard. Wide open three, got to take it, but Dean didn't get to go. That three is good by Scott, and a breakdown in coverage there from Howard. The zone's got to be extended out a little bit more. We're a little too camped in right now.
Absolutely, and when the ball goes in the middle, Coach Smith teaches the guards got to stay on the perimeter.
Right.
And what they didn't do, they got sucked into the middle, which allowed the perimeter three. They got to stay executing.
McDuffie for three, gets that to go. And Howard gets a 5-point lead back. And here's the 2-2-1 for Howard. Garrett breaks that pretty easily, and that is way too easy. And I think McDuffie fell asleep on his backdoor defender. Rotations were off there for Howard.
Absolutely. Thought that was a backcourt violation.
Enriquez. Dean. Jami looking to seal his defender. Has it down low. Jami. Nice spin move. Gets it to go. And they missed his interior presence, I think, as the first half went on.
Absolutely. And you can see what that did. It allowed Anthony Jami to be in the game to start it, while Garrett, their number 24 that has 3 fouls, he has to sit the beginning of the half. So 2 coaching decisions looking to pay off early in the second half.
Scott picks up the foul there for Garrett. That's his second personal. Dean will inbound on the side for Howard. Dean to Johnson. Enriquez puts it up and gets it to go, plus the foul. Emmanuel Enriquez with the and one. The women's team cheering on the side as well. Stay tuned for that part of the second part of our doubleheader as the Dragon girls team will take on the Garrett team at 12 o'clock. Enriquez way short. Didn't use his legs on that one and just kind of flicked it up there. You got to have concentration and go through the full process of the shot.
Absolutely.
Jackson loses control of that, and it will stay Garrett basketball. Coleman will inbound on the baseline. And Enriquez sleeping, but lucky for him, Scott missed the floater. Johnson, McDuffie, Enriquez, Dean, McDuffie, and they're going to call a foul on Robinson as he had a little too much of a hold of Jami there.
This is exactly how Howard wanted to start. They've been playing inside out, and I'm pretty sure that was a big emphasis for Coach Snook to begin the second half at halftime.
Johnson will inbound on the baseline. Ooh, he had Jami there for a moment, but he has McDuffie there. And Garrett just with the complete breakdown in coverage. And Coach McCullough wastes no time in getting Hevington back up off the bench. He needs him, even with his 3 fouls, down 9. And there's a 10-second violation. And it will be Howard ball. Garrett having trouble breaking that Howard press.
It just looks like Garrett was not ready for this press and not ready for the zone looks. They are totally flustered right now. And it looks like Coach Snook, honestly, is doing a great coaching job and has his guys locked in and executing the game plan to begin, honestly, for the last 24 minutes.
No doubt. Dean will inbound to Johnson. Enriquez to Dean. Enriquez, McDuffie swinging around the perimeter. Dean inside. Gets Jackson for a fake, and Dean gets it to go. Good use of the ball fake there by Dean. Here's Miles. Hevington puts it up and gets it to go.
I know Garrett is happy to have him back on the court.
He's really who they play through, to be honest. And he's a late addition, and he's going to be on more team scouting reports as this is only his 3rd game. Dean, that's off. Miles with the board. And here goes Garrett in transition. Jackson looks to attack Enriquez, and Enriquez sends that to the 3rd row of the crowd.
Great defense by Henriquez. They're playing with supreme confidence right now.
I would say that was a great recovery by Enriquez, too, because initially, you're right, it was good defense, but he got beat initially.
Absolutely.
And he used his explosiveness and pace to kind of make up for that. Hevington's going to put that up, way off. And Johnson with the board. Howard probably going to look to slow it down, choose some time here. Up 9 in this game. McDuffie to Dean. Enriquez with the jam. And for the first time all day, Howard's lead is now in double digits. However, that lasts about a couple seconds as Scott gets the easy layup. But again, Howard, you got to get back on the defensive end of the floor and take your side of the zone, and another turnover for the Drags. Coleman, way too easy. And just like that, it's down to 7. Dean. Johnson to McDuffie. Dean will drive baseline and get fouled. Is it by Hevington or is it by Miles? This is going to be a big determination. It's going to be refs are discussing it. Who's it on? It's on Hevington. It's his 4th. That was a very late call. We'll go to the media timeout with the score 47-40. Welcome back to the Caller Complex. 47-40 your score here. Headington picking up his fourth foul for Howard. Or for Garrett, pardon me. It's a big deal. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have on Garrett moving forward in this game with him picking up his fourth?
I think it's huge. I mean, he's been their only source of offense. He's the leading scorer by 4 or 5 points. He's working through the attacking in the middle, working through the zone that Howard's had. That was pretty important. I saw it have at the timeout. Coach Smelt went up to the table to make sure. So I know he's very happy about that. And look for Howard to now continue with Garrett going a little smaller to attack around the rim and look to score around the rim.
Dean knocks his first one down and his second one down. And it's a 49-40 game. Here's Keontae Johnson, who replaces Headington. Miles is trapped, breaks through the trap, but turns it over. Dean will lay it in. And it is now 51-40. Scott Coleman will take it back out. Howard has them right where they want them right now, in the half court, where Garrett's kind of struggled today running half court offense.
Absolutely. Howard is executing the game plan very well.
Scott gets it to go.
Sean Scott for two.
It's paced, sloppy pass by Johnson off the knee of Coleman, and it is going to stay Howard ball. Johnson got lucky there with that soft one-hand pass. Can't be lobbing it in this type of game right now. You can't be lobbing it any time, but you gotta give strong, crisper passes if you're Johnson.
No, and they got to do exactly what Christian Dean is doing really well. He's been the key for this, but you have to do what Coach Smelk says a lot of times in practice, make man passes.
Yes.
So I know they're looking to do that and executing that.
And another turnover for Garrett as Scott throws that to the baseline. Be interesting to see when Garrett goes back to Headington, if the score continues to escalate more and more. Yes, he's got 4 fouls, but you want this to become a 20-point game by the time he comes back in potentially? It's a tough risk reward if you're Coach McCullough. As Garrett will make a substitution, Keyshawn Scott out the game, Marquis Olds in the game as Enriquez loses that, and it will be Garrett basketball. And we got another sub coming in. Antonio Adams will replace Gavin Jackson. Jackson's had a relatively quiet day so far. He's only 2 for 5 with 5 points. I think if you offered that to the coaching staff, they would have said, sign me up immediately.
Absolutely. And to see him not only struggle, but them take him out, and now you don't have to worry about him shooting much better.
Johnson for 3, short. Rebound, Jami. And it will go
possession to the Lakers.
To Garrett. 13-12 here remaining in this one. 53-42 the score. Howard once again in their 2-2-1. Coleman breaks it easily. Miles. Olds for 3. Gets it to go. And there's the risk of the 2-2-1. You break it easily. You're late your rotation spots. And then you have a wide open 3 there for Olds.
Absolutely. That is a shot that they were willing to give up. He made a good shot by Garrett. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a run.
McDuffie off. And here comes Garrett. Adams bringing it up. Olds, who just knocked down the 3. Adams. Howard in their 2-3 zone right now. Miles. Adams puts it up. Off. Rebound, Johnson. Gotta get at the board if you're Howard. Can't get second chance opportunities. Olds. Way too easy. And no shot. Wow. They're going to say that's on the floor, and I'm a little surprised by that. I thought he had his gather prior to going up.
Dragons foul on number
They're going to call it on Jami, which is his second. What do you think? Do you think he had his gather, or do you think that was on the floor?
No, I think the initial contact was on the floor. I think
On
he
the
got the
floor?
gather after the initial contact.
Coleman. Short. Dean with the board.
Garrett is not getting anything easy right now. And I think that's they're having to force everything to get tough buckets every time. I think if you're asking, you would much rather be Howard score easy buckets rather than having to get tough shots every single time.
Johnson to Jami down low. Gets it to go. Nice pass there by Johnson.
Absolutely.
And finding the open man and got it in between a couple Garrett bodies. Johnson puts one up and gets it to go. I think you'll live with that if you're Howard, though.
Absolutely, you'll live with that.
Deontay Johnson, 4-2.
You won't panic off of that shot. That's actually the shot you want.
No doubt. Enriquez. Way off. And he had Jami down low, and he also had McDuffie open three. Poor decision there. And then way too easy defensively. No resistance on the defensive end for the Dragons. And that's going to make Coach Schmelkitson not too happy.
Absolutely. I think Enriquez had the corner man and the high low there. But it's a little different when he has the ball with rather than Anthony DeJami at the post right now.
Enriquez travels.
Traveling violation, turnover to the Lakers.
Couple tough possessions for him, man, but I know he'll get it back. He can't keep put his head down. He has to get it back on the defensive end.
Yep, got to move on to the next play, and he's more than capable of it. I mean, his talent is one of one in this region, so he's just got to move on, and go to the next play.
Absolutely. It's a big possession defensively here for Howard.
Miles. And know that you are right about that. It is difference between a 3-possession game and a 2-possession game is paramount. Coleman, well off. Big stop there defensively for the Drags.
Absolutely.
Barfield. Tough take. Gets it to go. Sincere Barfield going through multiple bodies and getting it at a nice angle. And that was a very good finish there by Barfield. Miles. A little long rebound Dean. Johnson. Barfield will pull up from three and hit. Sincere Barfield. And there's the microwave scorer that he is, showing up at the most important time of the game.
He does that. He's a scorer. Struggled in the first half, but a great response this half. He's catching the ball, knowing what he wants to do, being decisive. That's exactly what Howard needs.
Adams down low. Jami's going to pick up the reach. That is his third, and we will have a media timeout. 60-48, your score, and we will be back after this timeout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Dragon Trivia question of the day is, what is the largest planet in our solar system? You have an answer? What's your answer? Jupiter. All right, we got B for Jupiter. Is he correct? Yes. Good job. Thank you for playing Dragon Trivia.
Oh, that was an easy one. We'll have a harder one with the women's game coming up. Remember, kids, this is
Welcome back to the Caller Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College, with your score being 60 to 48, Howard on top. Coleman will inbound baseline. Miles drives Dean baseline and gets him to go. And Dean kind of gave him the angle there baseline, didn't really shield him off for it. And you got to be a little more center. The way he was positioned kind of encouraged that baseline drive there, it looked like.
Absolutely. You can't get beat that easy on the baseline and with no help side.
And it looks like we got a medical timeout. We got some blood on Miles for Garrett. So we'll have a short stoppage of play. Make sure to stay tuned for the women's game, which follows this one between these same two teams, Howard and Garrett. Tip-off is estimated for 12 p.m., but could be later depending the outcome of this game. But stay tuned for that. It'll begin approximately 25 minutes after this game between the men. So Dean will inbound. Looks like there's some blood on the floor as well. So they will clean that up. Overall, you have to say the event of this being a field trip game, the crowds had an impact on this one. I mean, the kids have made some noise, and you know what the perfect testament to that is? Garrett is 1 of 9 from the free throw line.
I think that's the key difference in the game. I mean, they're leaving 8 points on the board, but the event that this did, this was a great event. These students are, I mean, they're making the best home court advantage possible for Howard, and I think this is the best home game that they've had. So hopefully they continue with the momentum and get this W for the fans.
And a credit to James Lamont as well, who came on to interview us, who was a big part, or came on. I got to interview him, and it was a big part in getting this event together. So I want to give him some credit, and he's doing a great job as the coordinator of community engagement. Back-to-back turnovers by both teams. Roche has it for the Drags. Barfield, the Dean, Johnson. Enriquez will set a screen and then slip down low, and it'll go out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Position remains with the Dragons.
Enriquez wanted a foul, and the ref gave him a nice little sarcastic look like, what are you talking about, buddy? But 7 on the shot clock for Howard.
Number 35.
And Jami's going to come back in with his 3 fouls. Dean will depart.
I think you'll see a little bit of Coach Smuck playing offense and defense here. I'm pretty sure on the offensive possession when there's a break, he'll love. On defensive possession, I'm sorry, to get Dean back in, which he's already sent him to the table.
That was a very appropriate reaction, though, to that shot by Enriquez, because that was not, 1, what they wanted, and 2, that's not his game either. So it's the balancing act. Garrett will take the fadeaway, and Roche will pick up a foul for Howard. That's his first. And let's see if the crowd can maybe help make some noise for Howard, as Garrett's had a rough day at the line. They're 1 of 9 from the free throw line. They're now 2 of 10.
The reverse announcer jinx.
Miles will get another as the crowd's getting louder now. Miles knocks both. And it's an 8-point game. And you'd have to say this is a win for Garrett right now, keeping it within this 8-point margin while Headington's on the bench. Roche loses it to Coleman, but Coleman can't keep it in play.
Out of bounds. Possession remains with the Dragons. During last time I entered the game for the Dragons, number 24, Christian Dean.
Dean back in the game for Howard, replacing Jami. Johnson. Roche. off. That was a nice play there by Howard. Dean setting that screen down, a down screen down, and Roche coming off with the curl, and fortunately didn't work. And Jackson, way too easy defensively for Garrett to exploit there. And we got a 2-possession ball game now.
That's not what you want to see for Howard. Is Dean get? I'm sorry, Jackson get a bucket and start. Hopefully he doesn't get going with that. But a good attack by Emmanuel.
And that's what he's got to do, because every time they can't handle him down low. And
no.
it's free throws or points. I mean, you said it earlier. His strength is attacking down low, and he's very capable of doing that. Now we'll see Enriquez at the free throw line. He's 2 of 5 so far at the line today, and now 3 of 6.
The game of the Dragons, number 7.
Miles McDuffie in the game now for Howard.
I think it was important to get the Swiss Army knife back in the game to finish the game out.
No doubt. Enriquez misses the second.
Big possession by Garrett here as he's trying to creep back in.
And Olds will hit another. Olds has hit some very timely threes for them. And wow, this lead's cut to 4, and now Garrett is showing press, and Howard's having trouble with it. Coach Schmelkinson wants a timeout, and he's not going to get it. Instead, they're going to get a 10-second. Coach Schmelkinson tried to call a timeout. The referees did not see him call one, and unfortunately for Howard, they are not going to get that timeout, and it'll be a 10-second violation. And that's a smart wrinkle thrown in there by Coach McCullough. They haven't done that all game.
Not at all.
And now they've shown it, and Howard was caught off guard with it.
Absolutely. I think Howard looked to slow it down a little bit. They were breaking the press early, but a couple key mistakes.
Olds is going to shoot another 3, and that one was way off. But the board by Garrett, and they're going to go to the line for 2. And the foul will be on McDuffie. That is his 3rd personal.
Antonio Adams to the line, shooting 2.
So with the smaller lineup that Garrett has, Howard's kind of countered by going small, and it hasn't really worked so far to this point.
No, what they need like the last possession, they're looking for Enriquez to take advantage and be that undersized forward for them right now and score in the interior. It's not happening right now. It got fouled, went 1 for 2. Look for Howard to get back to that, get into the rim and attacking.
McDuffie attacks. Right on cue, Terrell. It's right on cue. And McDuffie attacks. You might as well just be the Oracle, man. Wow. As that one goes for Miles. And we got a 30-second timeout called by Garrett. So we will take that 30-second timeout with them, and we will be back after the timeout. Welcome back to the Callaway Complex. 63-61 the score now, with Garrett climbing back into the lead here. Heathington having 4 fouls. We were talking about, keep it within 6. Now with this run, do you even bring him back in the game maybe? Or
I think
let this kind of ride out here?
You pay attention to 2. I think he's a guy that came in with Heathington got the foul trouble, and he's been doing really well. He hit a couple 2 big threes to get him back in the game. So as long as he stays out, I think they'll be fine with Heathington staying on the bench. But once he struggles, I think they'll get him right back in the game.
McDuffie off. I tend to agree with you as well. That would be the route I would go, the way you went with Coleman. Garrett can take the lead here for the first time in this half, or tie it up here with a 2. Adams, Olds, Jackson. It's been relatively quiet so far in this one. Adams inside. Fade away, tie game. Right as the shot clock expired.
Score 2.
And Howard's going full with a full court pass by Johnson. Finds Jami out of bounds. Stays.
Got to make man
Howard
pass.
ball. Yep. Yep. No doubt. Garrett's got all the momentum right now, and it's a huge game. You got 6-0 Garrett in Region 20 Division II play. Howard with 1 loss. Howard trying to take over first place from Garrett. So this is huge, and the tiebreaker is involved. Garrett wins this. They in effect not only have a 2-game lead, they have a 3-game lead due to the tiebreak.
Absolutely.
Johnson for 3, gets it to go, and Coach Schmelkinson will call a timeout, and it will be a 30-second turned to media. So we will take the timeout with them, and we will be back for the finale of this game. Welcome back to the Caller Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. 66-63 is your score. 5:18 left. Howard, how do you close this game out?
Execute. Take care of the ball, limit the turnovers, and sprint back and force Garrett to play in the half court. And I think you win this game.
And if you're Garrett, what's the keys to victory for them?
They need to do it to score so they can create Howard to turn the ball over. Get back into that diamond press they were doing on made baskets. That was giving Howard a little bit of trouble.
Miles loses it. Scramble for it, and we got a jump ball.
Jump ball.
And the possession arrow goes to Garrett.
That was actually a great out-of-timeout play called by Garrett coach. Just couldn't hold on to the ball. But if he would have held on to the ball, I think that was a bucket.
Yeah. He got the look he wanted, that is for sure.
They did a great job of fading the floppy screens and going to the rim. Just got to catch it next time if you're Garrett.
Adams. Miles. Coleman. Jackson. Crowd trying to throw him off with a fake shot clock. Adams has to put it up and gets the go. And it's rare to get Jami on the fake, but he did there.
Absolutely. And I think Howard is lucky to not have that turn into an and one
Yeah.
because it was a little foul, but it's interesting to see how they respond. Garrett's doing a great job of now scoring in the half court.
Dean, quick three off. And out of bounds off of Howard.
Quicker shot than probably Coach Smelk wanted to. I think that was about 24 seconds on the shot when they shot that. Wanted to probably run the offense a little longer.
Yep, and that goes with what you're saying earlier. Half lump pace of play. You're playing in Garrett's hands right now with this pace. So Garrett with the opportunity to take the lead here. Coleman to Miles. Olds. Miles. Jackson for three. Got it. And Garrett leads for the first time in the second half and have overcome a 14-point deficit to do so. Enriquez. Block is called.
Garrett is doing a much better job in their offense, using the time, executing. They're doing a very good job, kind of what Howard was doing in the beginning of the first half. Howard has to get back to that and make shots to speed Garrett back up again.
Adams picking up the foul. That's his first. Enriquez from three is blocked. And Coleman will slow it down now for Garrett. And Coach McCullough will call out a play. Jackson. Coleman. Attacks. Gets it blocked. Dean to Johnson. McDuffie. 68-66. Garrett on top. Enriquez. Johnson to Dean. Dean attacks. Is fouled. And will go to the line to try to tie this game.
I think we've talked about this multiple times on air. But Christian Dean aggressiveness getting to the rim has been very key for this team. And I think he probably doesn't like that he may be 0 for 3 from 3. But him getting to the rim and him putting pressure on the Garrett defense has been very key for Howard Dragons today.
No doubt about it. Dean going to the line for two. His first one is off. So, unfortunately for Howard, they're going to have to settle for a 1-point deficit if Dean knocks this one down. Dean's second one is off too. And that's a brutal break for the Dragons. It's in effect a turnover now, going 0 for 2 from the line. So, empty possession for the Dragons. Coleman to Jackson. Had Olds, but threw the pass off, and Howard got away with that one.
Absolutely.
So Howard down 2. And Sincere Barfield's going to check back in. He's going to replace Anthony Jami.
I think Coach Smelk is looking to get more offense going. Either spread the court, you have shooters in the game, and allow to open up the paint and drive and kick.
I completely concur and agree with you on that. Enriquez. Johnson. Barfield. Off. Rebound. Pullman. So, if you're Howard, gotta stay strong. Be solid on the defensive end. Howard's in a 2-3 right now.
Absolutely.
Barfield is extended on the zone, which is good. So it's Johnson. Olds for Garrett. Coleman. Jackson. Coleman. Barfield knows Jackson's a shooter. You can tell it's a study of the scouting report. Coleman feeds Miles and a block, and we got a jump ball.
Jump ball.
Possession arrow is Howard.
Great defense on the back line by Howard. to save what Garrett thought was an easy basket.
Yep, no doubt about it. Minute 45 to play here. Barfield to Johnson. McDuffie. McDuffie looking to attack. Off. And a reach-in foul on Howard. That's the 15 foul.
The real benefit right now that Garrett, the change they're making is they're picking up the pressure. Howard is starting their offense at 19 seconds on the shot clock, which is a lot easier to defend. That's why Coach Smelk, if you see when they get the ball, really trying to get them to push the ball so he can have his more seconds to execute the offense like they were doing early on.
Jackson. Dean with the steal. Dean will lay it in, plus the foul. Christian Dean with a huge play for the Dragons. And he will go to the line to try to give them the lead.
Christian Dean, when he goes back there, I hope Coach Smelt gives him the game ball if they win this game, because he has had a hell of a game on both ends of the court.
And he's the type of player, too, the ball always seems to find him.
Absolutely.
Whether it's steals, rebounds, he's just a gamer. And the ball always seems to find him. And the free throw, that's the one thing, unfortunately, he has struggled with tonight is his free throws. Coleman in transition. Foul by McDuffie.
It's too easy. Too easy. That's exactly what we talked about when he talked at the 5-minute mark, the keys to win the game. Howard has to sprint back. I thought Jaden Johnson go back. You look take the charge, but that little reach out there, the three-point line, allowed Coleman to get right to the rim and get fouled. So we have to be smarter, execute, and sprint back and pack the paint.
Coleman to the line for two. First one is off. And you can tell that crowd is getting in the head of the Garrett supporters, or in the Garrett players. Garrett now 6 of 14 from the free throw line.
I think they're over there debating right now whether Coach Smelt calls a timeout or he lets his players rock.
Oh,
wow.
Dragons give up the offensive board. Jackson's off, but another.
Wow. That is
unbelievable.
Want to give up 2 offensive rebounds.
And Garrett will take a 30-second timeout. And that's the second time off a miss for Garrett at the line. They've gotten an offensive putback to go. So that's 4 points. Take those 4 points off. Howard's leading, but now Garrett's up 2. So you got to forget that. Flush after Howard. What's Coach Schmelkinson drawing up right now?
I think he's drawing up the same things we talk about. Getting to the paint, put pressure on Garrett. I don't think Coach Smelk is settling. I think he'll either the same way go into the post or he'll look to get at the elbow and look to attack. I think that's been really working for them right now. Whether it's even between Miles McDuffie and Enriquez, one of them gets to the paint. Even Christian Dean, I think he's been doing a great job putting pressure on it. So I look to one of those three to have the ball in their hands to get downhill.
59.7 seconds to play here. 70-68. Garrett is on top.
And I'm very surprised that Garrett has brought Heathington back in the game for Jackson for the defensive possession after sitting so much in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt. But they obviously value this possession, and maybe it's something where, let's say they give up a basket, they call timeout, burn their last one, potentially to get Jackson back in the game. Here's Dean.
Horn set, looking to exactly get to the paint, put pressure. Exactly
what you talked about. Tie game at 70. And a timeout called.
That has been really what's working. Coach Smelk has been really out of timeouts, really utilizing the horn sets to set a ball screen between the forwards and creating a mismatch. Garrett is switching, which allows the mismatch to come when you set the screen, and Howard is taking advantage of that. So every time they've been able to do that, they've scored. But it's really important right here, right now, for Howard to get a stop.
So Howard with the full timeout being called. If you're Garrett, there's so many avenues you could go to that have worked in this second half. You have Headington that's come back in, who hasn't really been a factor second half. First half was a factor. Jackson, who's their best player, has kind of had an off night, but hit a big three recently. Olds has given them some very clutch shots. Coleman can get to the hole. What route would you go down if you were leading that huddle right now?
Honestly, I would do the same thing Howard's doing. I would look to get one of your forwards at the post. I mean, not the post, but in the elbow and attack. One thing that Garrett's been doing a great job of getting to the rim, and guess what? When they create a lot of help side, the offensive rebounds open up, and that's where they've been eating. So I would definitely attack the rim, try to put it up on the rim, and create an offensive rebound situation, second chance opportunity. But it's really key. It looks like Howard's going zone to slow it up. So it really does help for Howard to guard less in the half court.
All right, Garrett will have it. Baseline for the Dragons. Jami has been reinserted into the game, replacing Barfield. So I want to give, this is definitely a smart move by Coach Smelkinson to have that interior paint presence for Garrett. You have Olds, Jackson, Hevington, Miles, and Pullman. The five for the Lakers.
And you see Olds, he hit two from that corner right there before, so you got to pay attention to him. But I think once this goes in the half court, it's going to Hevington or Miles. They both been doing a great job in the second half. You don't want to get it.
Garrett got a timeout right before the turnover, and that was a heck of a timeout by Coach McCullough. He literally saved the game for the Lakers with that.
Absolutely, and I don't know what Hetherington was doing, just stopping in the trap zone. I mean, everybody in the gym knows that you do not stop in the corners, and he did. Luckily, Coach gives him a timeout and get it to a half-court game, right?
Yep, no doubt, and saved him there, and that's exactly what Howard wanted defensively.
Absolutely.
They gave him that's what they give you in the press. They want you to catch it on the sideline, so then you act like they have space, and then you have two come, and now you're really guarded by three defenders because you have the two plus the sideline.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think
Garrett will have it on the sideline coming out in the half court. If you're Coach Smelkinson, not only are you drawing up something how you want to play this defensively, you're probably drawing up something offensively too in terms of maybe he's telling his team as soon as you get a call timeout.
Yeah, I think Coach Smel's looking at if they do score, you do or don't score, get it across half court and
get the
timeout. I think with the way he's been drawing up out of time, they've been executing out of timeout plays is why you would look to call the timeout. But I think Coach Smel and his defense has to pressure the ball. And I think we already heard Coach Smelk say on the rebound, he's looking to get a timeout. So we know what's coming up next, but I think they need to pressure Garrett right now and make them uncomfortable and hopefully get a turnover, which Garrett has been giving it up this game.
They have, for sure. Garrett with 12 turnovers on the day. Jackson will inbound. It is tipped. Will stay Garrett basketball. Dragons have won 2 games off buzzer beaters. Just throwing that out there.
Absolutely.
Just in case they decide not to call a timeout. Hevington getting pressured by Enriquez. Coleman. 10 on the shot clock. Coleman being guarded by Johnson.
Keep this in Coleman's hands.
Coleman finds Hevington.
20
shot clock violation. And Howard's going to call their final timeout. So 30-second timeout. for Howard. 5.3 seconds. We won 2 games last year in situations where it came down to the final play in a tie game on the buzzer off of Coach Smelkinson play. What do you think he's drawing up right here?
Get down here. I think he's. I wouldn't be surprised if he uses a flat ball screen for one of the guards, whether it's Dean or Jaden Johnson, to get them downhill and go get fouled or get a bucket, because both teams wearing a 1-and-1 either way. So I think Coach Smelk is definitely looking to put pressure, not really saying, but get downhill straight once we get the ball. If you're Garrett, you got to look to have them catch the ball going backwards, not going towards their rim. But I would definitely love to see one of their guards get downhill.
5.3 seconds to go. Johnson inbounding for Howard.
I'm calling it now. I don't know if I can do this, but we're not going to overtime. Howard gets the bucket.
for 3, way off. And we are going to overtime.
I can tell you this, Sebastian, that is not what Coach
No chance.
That is not what he drew up.
That is no. That is. I completely. There is no way in any universe that was what he drew up. But
It's the right idea. He wanted to get downhill, but not in that position to settle for that shot. You've been doing very well getting to the rim, trying to get a foul, but it's okay. We get free basketball.
that is very true, and we will be back with that free basketball after this timeout. Welcome back to the Caller Complex as we get ready for overtime here on the campus of Howard Community College, the first ever overtime game here on the campus of Howard Community College in this building. So,
Did you expect anything different, Seb?
honestly, no. With these two teams, 6-0, 5-1 in region, no. It's meant to be this way. These are the two best teams, arguably the two best teams in the Region 20 Division II play. I'm sure Montgomery will have something to say about it, and rightly so, but these two have earned their spot as Enriquez knocks that one down, and Howard with a 72-70 lead. Good deflection there by Johnson.
Out of bounds, position remains to the Lakers.
Coleman having to get it across, just does so. Jackson. Coleman. A little stagnant right now for Garrett. Here comes looked like it was going to be a screen and roll. Take by Coleman, off. Johnson. Dean. McDuffie. Got fouled, it looked like. You can hear the slap, but he gets it to go anyway. It's a 4-point Howard lead. Miles. Coleman. Jackson for 3. Short. Rebound. Loose ball on Garrett. And Garrett is in the bonus with 18 fouls are in the bonus.
Lakers foul on number 2, Marquis Olds.
The foul called on Marquis Olds. That's his third. And Christian Dean, who's done just about everything for the Dragons, except at the free throw line, will go to the line for 2.
I think
Or for 1 and 1, pardon me. Unfortunately not. But McDuffie makes up for it. And Dean with the putback. They give Garrett a taste of their own medicine. Miles. That's a bad breakdown defensively there by Garrett. Olds gets it to go.
Olds has had a good second half in overtime. I think he's really been key in there, getting back in the game.
He has been. He's now 5 of 6 from the field. Enriquez will look to attack. I'm surprised they did not call a foul there on Heathington. Didn't look like he was in legal guarding position. Jackson for 3 off. Rebound by Johnson.
That's a big break for Howard.
Yes, it is. That's a shot that Garrett will take every day of the week, and one that Howard got away with there.
2 open shots for Jackson that he didn't get to really hit.
Yeah, he's had an off night today. Enriquez. Again, looked like he kind of got fouled there, but
He has to be stronger than that.
he does. McDuffie with the save. Full court to Enriquez, and that is a foul on Heathington, his 5th, and disqualifying foul. And he can't take his shirt off. That's a technical foul.
Technical foul on Garrett.
You can't rip your shirt off. That's against the rules. And you gotta know better than that if you're Heathington. And what a big break that is for Howard. So now
The original foul was levied on number 24, Cam Heathington. That is his 5th and final. An additional technical foul on number 24, Cam Heathington.
I think this is a possession that can put the Lakers away. If we can get 4 points out of this.
man, make it an 8-point game with 2:29. It's gonna be tough to recover from.
Number 24, Cam Heathington is disqualified from the game.
McDuffie will shoot the technical free throws. Off on the first one. Got one more. And then Enriquez will go to the line following McDuffie. McDuffie gets the second one to fall. So a 1-point error there by Heathington. And now that Howard's in the double bonus, that technical gets them 2 shots instead of a 1 and 1.
Absolutely.
So that's another big bonus for Howard. Enriquez knocks the first one down. The lead is up to 6 for the Dragons. And the second one, good as well. 7-point game for Howard. Jackson.
That 2-2-1 is really slowing down Garrett. They really need to be pushing the ball, but it's
Olds is blocked, but the putback by Miles is good. And it's a 5-point game. Here, Garrett shows their little press. Jami will look to attack and get fouled by Olds.
I would have loved to see the John lay it up, get an and one, and put the nail in the coffin for the game. But now he has to earn it at the free throw line.
No doubt about it. Olds picks up his 4th. And Jami will go to the line shooting 2 free throws. Jami hits the first. And the second one is good. Holds to Coleman.
Another 10-second
Another 10-second violation for the Dragons.
10-second violation. Turnover to the Dragons.
And that is a huge blow to the Lakers' chances. And now, you're Howard. A basket here almost might put this one away.
I could see Howard's going to run through the offense, burn the clock, run through offense. That's what they'll look to do during this game.
Johnson. Dean. Got to go here with 7 on the clock. Dean gets Jackson in the air, drives to the hole, and lays it in.
It's only fitting. It's only fitting that he gets the bucket that could potentially put this game away.
Olds with a basket and a timeout called by Garrett. Their one and only timeout of the overtime period. Full timeout by Garrett, and we will be back after this timeout. Welcome back to the Caller Complex here. All right, so what do you think Garrett wants? Garrett's obviously going to throw some pressure at Howard. How does Howard break it here?
Make man passes, get to the open spots, and I think you break the press. Garrett has to turn the ball over. Fouling, get him to the free throw line doesn't help you at this moment.
Dean will drive, get it across half court, and love it for Enriquez. I would say that worked pretty nicely. Coleman to Adams. Adams will attack and lay it in, plus the foul. Foul on Enriquez.
That's not what you want. You don't want to stop the clock at any point. They're going to score, they score.
Right.
You don't want to stop the clock, though.
Only a second for Enriquez. Jami into the game for the Dragons, replacing Barfield for rebound purposes. Adams off. Rebound, Enriquez. Big miss at the line there for Garrett. Johnson launches at full court to Jami, who dribbles and lays it in. Almost got away with a 3-second there, but we got a clock error for I think they're going to readjust it here.
One thing I'll tell you, it is hard to win here, and not many teams do. So I didn't expect anything different, and it's amazing to see the Dragons take care of the home court with a lot of help.
Yes.
A lot of help.
Let me ask you this. Do they win this game without the fans?
I don't know. It will be tough. This was a true home court advantage experience, especially putting it at 10 o'clock a.m. It's already hard to get up and play, but to have those fans, oh man, I think those boys, good steal.
Great steal by Johnson. I agree with you, though. I think it definitely had an impact, for sure.
I think they need to go over there and clap every single one of their hands because this was a team effort, not just the players, but the fans and the students as well.
Dean fouled by Coleman, and he will go to the line for two.
Garrett foul on number 3, Asir Coleman. That's his first.
Valiant effort, though, by the Lakers. Take this team into overtime, and
Yeah.
they proved they're legit, for
So
sure.
I'll be honest, there's something to build on for Garrett. It's really something to build on. They could have folded down 15, packed it up, and get the bus started. But they fought back, took it to overtime. But it's just tough to win here. And I think that guess what? The best part about it is to get to Danville, you have to win here. So that's the plus. And I think the best thing that Coach Smelk is doing is having these boys get better as the season goes on.
No doubt about it. Dean misses the first of his free throws. Corey Harper checking in for Garrett gives them a little bit more outside shooting.
Coach Smelk coaching to the end, still yelling at them.
It's what he does. Dean knocks the second one down, and he looks to the heavens and says, "Finally, I get a free throw." Jackson puts it up, off. Rebound, Enriquez. Dean will dribble it out. And what a valiant effort
Yes.
for the Dragons. 88-78. Howard getting a very big win and taking and getting level with the Garrett Lakers on the record, both with one loss. Great win for Howard. And once again, your final score, Howard 88, Garrett 78. Terrell, thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you, and I enjoyed doing it. I'm happy that we got the win.
No doubt about it. Stay tuned. We got a new crew coming in for game 2 of our doubleheader. The women take on the Garrett Lakers. Thanks again, and have a good one.